What is going on, guys? Bright and early. What is going on? All right. There's no event today, no CPI, no FOMC, but wanted to do more frequent live trading live streams for you guys because that is something that I get requested all the time. But we're going to be jumping into some of the charts that I'm looking at this morning as well. Obviously, it's pre-market right now. The market doesn't open for another half an hour. So we're going to be diving into some of the things that I'm looking at, how I look at things, where I'm looking at entries, what I'm looking to play, etc. Tesla right off the bat looks super interesting, filling that gap at 235 that literally everybody was waiting for it to fill. This is going to be a very interesting price point because we are very close to the 50% retracement of this previous rally on Tesla. That is, wait, hold on, sorry. Yes, of this previous rally on Tesla that we have measured since April. So usually at 50% retracement points, things start getting interesting, at least from a DCA perspective, a dollar cost average perspective. So we're going to be looking at that. And then obviously going to be looking at the indices as well. Right off the bat, you see that the VIX pre-market hasn't really changed since Friday. Actually, this will come out, I think, in 15 minutes. So we'll take a look at the VIX in a bit. But the dollar index is rising. So the dollar index is up 0.35%, and then the 10-year is up 0.38%. So both the 10-year and the dollar index rising this morning, which is usually not good for stocks. And then the pullback that that I've been talking about, the summer pullback that I expected to see starting in August after the earnings were concluded. Most of the earnings have already taken place. Between August and September, I expected somewhere between a 5 and a 10% pullback. So, all right. Let me say what's up to some of you, and then we'll get back into it. But if you're on the stream, give it a thumbs up. I will be doing more frequent live streams, not necessarily on dates. I know you guys are used to me reporting on economic events and dates of that nature, but just as in daily live stream. So, all right. Mattia, what's going on? Francisco, what's going on? Are you still making a video on the option secret? What is the option secret, Francisco? Let's make some money, fellow traders. What's going on, Pat? Yes, let's make some money. Oscar, Soner, Curlin. Tony Hale says, I don't know what language it says, but Tony, thank you so much. Regine, Rhett Brown, Mike Sanchez, Michael, Sony, Danny, Stack Trader, T Squarehead, D Sharma. What's going on, guys? What's going on? All right. I'm not sure what do you mean by option secret, Francisco? Let me know what you're talking about. Bonjour from Vegas. Wow, very sophisticated. Didn't know you guys spoke French in Vegas. Russ, love the channel. Appreciate you. I think he's talking about Cash Sweep's vehicle. Oh, on Fidelity. Fidelity. Okay, so I think what he's talking about is this. When you are on a platform, right? So say that you are on. Oops. So say that you are on like Fidelity or Thinkorswim. If you are not using that money, what is that money doing? Is it earning interest or not? And on Thinkorswim, what they call the cash and sweeps vehicle, meaning when the money's just sitting there, Thinkorswim's interest rate is like 0.3%. On Fidelity, the interest rate is somewhere between 4 and 5%. So Fidelity is actually one of the platforms that already gives you a high interest on your cash, right? Very different from Thinkorswim, which gives you 0.3%. So on Thinkorswim, you actually have to put your money in a mutual fund in order to earn 5%. And then after 30 days, that money is actually marginable or collateralized, meaning that you can use it as collateral against your cash secure puts, right? So I think that's what you're talking about. That's not really a secret. If you're on Fidelity, then you're already good. East Tennessee in the house. What's going on, Michael? Tony Hale, Navajo. Ah, that's why I don't get it. I don't speak Navajo, but thank you so much for whatever that greeting meant. Christian says IBKR 4.83%. Yes, I think Interactive Brokers, their cash vehicle pays. Yeah, it's only Thinkorswim, which is very weird. All right, so let's look at the S&P 500, right? If we take a look at, and I pointed this out on Twitter, if you guys want daily free trading and finance content, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That link is in the description. But what I said was I expected a summer pullback for a number of reasons. Actually, I did a whole write-up in the Academy, which some of which I will share with you since I posted it already now weeks ago. But basically, I was talking about the fact that we have not yet seen a pullback of this bull market here, and we tend to usually see a pullback within a month. That is a very common thing, very common trait when going from bear to bull. Also, the fact that August and September are usually very mixed and mostly red months for the stock market, historically, very different than July. And then I was also talking about the fact that the 821 EMA, which I don't use EMAs for trading, by the way, and you will see this when we start getting into the trades. But the 821 EMA, when that crosses, that leads to a usually up to 6% pullback on the S&P 500, and we got that. So right now we are down on the S&P 500. We are down 3%, right? So I am anticipating, like I said, a 5 to 10% pullback, especially after we got that 821 EMA cross. Would not be surprised to see us fall into back to this trend line, which would give us exactly a 6% pullback if we fell to this trend line here. So again, I'm not anticipating like a crash or anything, just a pullback and an opportunity to jump into some stocks that are discounted. Tesla is one of them, especially now after filling this gap. I did end up selling puts on Tesla at, where did I sell puts on Tesla? Let's see. Last week, I sold puts on Tesla at 220. So I sold the October 220 puts for 1070, which would mean my cost basis on Tesla would be $209, which is insane because that would mean that is another 13-14% down from where we are today. So happy to get that discount on Tesla if we get there. And by the way, if you guys have charts that you want me to look at, let me know. But right now, obviously we could trade ES at the moment because futures are open. So I'm waiting actually for potentially these lows to be taken out, these Sunday lows right here before going long, unless we get a significant shift in market structure. Let me remove these EMAs. Unless we get a significant shift in market structure. But right now, to me, there is no trade here yet. I'm waiting for these lows to be taken out. And then from there, we'll wait to see if we get a liquidity grab below this before taking it back long. So right now in ES, and I'm presuming NQ has something very similar. Yes, it does. The reason is when you have lows that are very close to where you are, but they haven't been taken out yet, this tends to act like a magnet. The market ends up getting attracted to those levels so that big players can grab liquidity below these levels, right, before taking it the other way. Especially since we did grab liquidity from the buy side, from the top, right? Remember, the market is just a series of taking liquidities from the sell side, from the buy side. That's why you don't get, let me get my mouse thing up. That's why you don't get markets that go like this, right? That's why every single day, if you're looking at intraday chart, the market goes like this because it's literally just a series of taking liquidity. So we took this liquidity here, right, which was basically this previous low, and that was, and obviously this was overnight, and that was an indication of potentially going long, and then we took this liquidity up here, right, and now we are tanking, right? It's intraday, so looking to take out this previous low now, right, before taking a major long. So right now is a wait and see moment on the S&P 500. And then in terms of other stocks, I'm looking at Disney, not for necessarily a trade, but for a potential poor man's cover call, right? So Disney's trading at levels that we saw during the pandemic. And that is crazy because during the pandemic, obviously, the parks were closed. People didn't have access to most things. Obviously, Disney Plus was growing during the pandemic because people were sitting at home watching TV all day. But I think Disney, from a valuation perspective, especially if the rumors of Apple buying them becomes true, Disney's going to shoot if and when Apple buys them, Disney's going to shoot up 20, 30, 40% on that news. It's nobody knows for sure if that's going to happen, but at these valuations, in my view, you can take a chance on investing in a company like this that is there's already a reason to invest in them from a valuation standpoint, and then the potential buyout is more icing on the cake, right? Plus the fact that Bob Iger is retiring in 2 years, and I have confidence that someone like that can actually right the ship at Disney. And so if he's already planning on retiring in 2 years, then whatever he's planning on doing is likely going to be swift and quick. So definitely looking at potentially buying leaps on Disney and then selling calls against those leaps. That's called a poor man's cover call. Shafiq, thank you so much for donating. Oh, yeah. How could I forget? Guys, usually all of our live streams since August 2021, all of our live streams have been, as you guys know, St. Jude's fundraisers. This is the first one that isn't. And we are doing a fundraiser for Maui. So this is will be donated to HCF, which is the Hawaii Community Foundation. And I already looked them up on the charity trackers, and they have a 93% rating, so even higher rating than, let me see what this looks like. Hold on. Yeah. Even higher rating than, say, like the Red Cross. The higher the rating means most of the money goes to the cause, right? And so this is the Hawaii Community Foundation. You can go to hawaiicommunityfoundation.org to learn more about them. But this is essentially the fundraisers that we will be doing for all of this week. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Soner. Thank you, Shaft, for donating. Appreciate you guys. Yes, make sure you hit that like button as well. But this is where the donations are going to. So feel free to read more about it if you want to before donating. Obviously, it's up to you. And whether you donate $1 or $1,000, anything is appreciated. And thank you guys. And yes, hit that thumbs up. There's only 400 of you here. And sorry, there's 400 of you here and only 100 likes. So make sure you hit that thumbs up. All right. Cool. So that is ES, like I said, and NQ. So the S&P 500, NASDAQ. From a broader perspective, we already started hedging. Again, this is something that I wrote up in the academy. I actually wrote about hedging in mid-June. So nice and early to the party. Put on more hedges last week, anticipating that pullback that I was talking about. So far going well on those hedges. We'll see. The market isn't down like crazy today, but the reason that I went with option spreads versus buying puts is because of exactly this. If we just barcode and have this really ugly movement with, not much down moves, put premiums are going to get destroyed. However, if you sold the put spread, if you sold the call spread, then all you need to do is be below that call spread, and you actually get positive theta, right? As opposed to negative theta by buying puts. So that's why we opted to sell the call spread. All right. What else? What else? Oh, and by the way, if let me just go to the WAP dashboard. 1 second. And today will be, I think today we're ending the discount. So if you go to the link in the description, you'll see 50% off for the first 3 months. This is the lowest ticket that will at least get you the alerts, will get you the analysis, will obviously get you into the chat here as well. This is the lowest ticket available, right? And we have a 50% off discount for launching on WAP, which is a new platform that you may or may not have heard of. This is 50% off for 3 months. And you will see that link in the description as well. The code is summer sale, all one word. So make sure you take advantage of that because we will be closing that, I believe today. I have to check with my team, but it's either today or tomorrow. So make sure that you take advantage of that. All right. Any stocks that you guys want me to look at? We took a look at Tesla, took a look at the S&P 500, took a look at NASDAQ. We are going to also take a look at, I'm very interested to see what NVIDIA is doing pre-market actually. Because NVIDIA looks like a potential candidate. I'm thinking about opening up a potential iron condor on NVIDIA here. The reason is because you can leg into an iron condor, meaning you could sell the put side first and then on a rally sell the call side. You don't have to open up the iron condor at once. So I'm potentially looking at an iron condor here, seeing if this is a potential or an interim support for NVIDIA here. Of course, NVIDIA does have earnings coming up. It is one of the few mega caps that has yet to report. It's actually reporting next week, so pretty late in terms of its reporting. But I'm not entirely sure, obviously, what earnings are going to yield. But I'm looking to potentially open an iron condor, or at least open a short put spread here, up until earnings, and then maybe take it off before earnings, and not have to wait until, not have to suffer the violence and the uncertainty of earnings. So, wap says Alex Kingdom. Buy Disney also long term. Yeah, I mean that's what a leap is. But yes, I mean look up the stock. Don't just buy a stock just based on nothing. If you like the stock, if you are confident in its growth, if you like its cash position, if you like its profitability, its valuation, then buy it. Don't just buy random stocks, okay? I tell people this all the time. If you don't know what to buy, or you're the type that's just going to buy a random stock based on price, like as an investment, not a swing trade, but an investment, just buy the S&P 500 and do yourself a favor. Don't even try to stock pick. Gerald Foley, appreciate your donation. Clickster, thank you so much for your donation as well. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. All right. And then whatever you guys donate, I'm certainly going to match that. So make sure that that you do, if you can, that you do donate. And definitely don't send me any super chats or anything. Like, I'd much rather you click the donate button. All right. Good morning, says Dallas Base. Duan, what's going on? Swoosh Trades says Microsoft, please. Christian says Palantir. Palantir is a good stock to trade, in my opinion. I personally don't have no interest in buying it. Not for, well, there are quite a few reasons why I'm not interested in buying Palantir as an investment. To each their own, obviously, but for me, I like trading Palantir because it does offer the volatility that a trader would want. So if you're asking if I'm investing in Palantir, no, definitely I'm not investing in Palantir. It's not my type of company. Will never understand how fanboys get excited about uh you know buying into a company in cybersecurity that has contracts with the government to spy on citizenry, right? I will never understand how people get excited over that. It's like the most. All right, I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm gonna hold my tongue. I was gonna say something mean, but I won't. Um, and I get that it has a lot of fanboys because people make content and monetize that content online, right? But it's definitely not my type of company to invest in for sure, right? And all this like Palantir is the next Microsoft or whatever. I mean, come on, guys, come on. But in terms of a trade, I don't really, I'm not really seeing a clear trade here, right? Because there is a major support level at like around 13 and a half, right? And this looks like potentially the beginnings of a head and shoulders, right? So if we get a head and shoulders here, I think Palantir will drop um, some more to, you know, I don't know, 12 or below if we get that head and shoulders. Otherwise, this could also be, let me see. I mean, it already broke below the trend line. So Palantir to me in the short term doesn't look bullish, right? In the short term. In the long term, this does look like a very large accumulation pattern. Um, so you know, in the long term, this definitely does look like a bullish pattern that can take us to the 20s. And I have no doubt that this company can trade in the 20s comfortably. You know, after we get the pullback over with. But yeah, in the short term, I think it looks bearish, and in the long term, the price definitely looks bullish. So hopefully that answers your question. Lynn Ramden, appreciate your donation, $50 to HCF. Thank you so much, you guys, for your donations. Any amount helps, so thank you for that. Appreciate you. How about Neo? It's so funny you talk about Chinese stocks. So we actually bought Chinese stocks for a short-term trade, Baba, K-Web, etc. Because I did a write-up on, so it was also somewhere around June, talking about the potential shift and why I expected Chinese stocks to rally. This was, where did I write this? Hold on. Might have been in stock alerts. Yeah, right here. It was June 15th. But I was talking about why I thought that China would see a rally. And since then, I mean, China has seen, since June, China, along with NEO, NEO has more than doubled since then. But, you know, stocks like KWeb, Baba have seen a resurgence since that time in June as well. So I did a whole write up as to why I thought that would be. Again, if you want access to all that analysis, click that link in the description. In my view, it is the best value on the market. Futures trades, options trades, day trades, long-term analysis, etc. You definitely get it all. Tesla can go down to 173 on the weekly. Let's see. To me, that would be unlikely. I'll be honest. That would be unlikely. I mean, just because a price hit, you know, a certain, just because a stock hit a certain price previously doesn't mean that it's just going to be, it's going to magnet to there. So I personally don't think that Tesla's going to 173. That's for sure. You already have the 50% retracement at like 226, 225. Yeah, Music Full says 220. That's where the 50% retracement is. Also, you have, this does look like a bullish pattern long term, right? And then also you have a major resistance level, which would act as support right under that 0.5 fib, which is around 220. So I agree more with Music Full's assessment of 220. Now, if we get a broad-based market retracement and we do get, say, like a 10% pullback as opposed to something in the 5% range, then yeah, I think all stocks will drop much more significantly. But I don't see, aside from that, just looking at the stock in isolation, I don't see a um yet. I don't see a thesis for 173. I think 220 is much more likely in the short term. 173 would be awesome from a picking up a cheap stock, a cheap mega cap stock, right? But yeah, my Nvidia puts about to print. When did you open those Nvidia puts, CRE? Oh, 4 minutes until market open. When did you open those Nvidia puts? And what are your puts? Because Nvidia is not down that much. If you open them before, if you open them like say on Friday. What are your thoughts on PayPal as an investment? Not my favorite. Are you in Chinese ARD for the long term? No, it's just a swing trade. Namaste from India, Karan Kumar, what's going on? Can you take a look at snow? What about it? What the fuck? No. I already knew snow looked like this, and I still don't know how the hell people trade it. If you are able to catch the right move on the right day, yes, your puts or calls will print for sure. But this is so crazy. Snow definitely does offer the volatility that a trader would look for, but it'd be very easy to be wrong on snow. It would be very easy to be wrong. But if you are right, this is the type of action that will definitely pump your premiums. If you are right on the right day, right? Yeah, from a day trading standpoint, I would look like if we hit these lows from Friday, I would want to see how it reacts to these lows before then potentially taking this long, like buying cheap calls. Depends. I'm not saying if it hits this level, buy cheap calls. I want to see how it reacts to here. Meaning, if we get liquidity taken and then we get a retracement back up, right? And then a retracement into, say, like a golden pocket on the Fibonacci, then I would want to take that long, right? So I would watch this on snow. Actually, could be interesting because it does have these violent swings. Options will pay handsomely if you are right on something like snow, for sure. Aisha, what's going on? Donated 33. Appreciate you, Aisha. And I will match all your donations today, I promise. So make sure that you do donate. Especially if you're thinking of hitting super chat or whatever. Don't do that. Much rather have you guys donate and then I will match your donation for sure. Thoughts on CRSR? What, Costa? This is not 2020, bro. This is not 2020. All right. Don't put your hard-earned money into shit stocks. You already asked me about PayPal, and now you're asking me about Corsair. No, just take your money, put it in blue chips, okay? Stop trying to stock pick on shitty stocks. I like trading stocks like this. I don't like investing in stock. Like when I invest, I want to be able to put my head on my pillow at night and be good with it, right? I'm not trying to guess what is going to be the next penny stock that rockets or the next shit stock that rockets. Like invest in blue chips, man. Like especially if we get a pullback, right? Your opportunity to invest in blue chips is right there. So I would say dollar cost average into blue chips. Stop trying to build positions in shit stocks and guess which one's going to rally. No, I'm not investing in Corsair. And I'm not saying that these stocks can't go up. I'm just saying like trying to stock pick on shit stocks is, to me, is a waste of time for an investment. For swing trade, for sure. Market just opened. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you. It's not like I didn't hear that bell. No, I appreciate you, man. I'm just pulling your leg. All right. Exactly. Bally says we can hear the bell in the background. I'm about to hire Pat just to call me and tell me when the market opens and closes. Still no trade for me here. We did, yeah, still no trade for me yet. On the indices at least. Ironically, I'm in Bali right now. He's responding to you, Bally. All right. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. There's 600 of you here. Hit that thumbs up if you guys want me to do more of these regular streams as opposed to just streaming when we have major economic news. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. AMC is down 36%. Oh, you know what? I heard about AMC. I heard about them not being able to. I mean, this is the time to buy calls. I'm not gonna lie. This is the time to buy. I mean, as a gamble or a lotto for sure. But I heard that AMC. What did I hear? Let me find this out. I heard that people weren't able to either short AMC or buy puts on AMC or something like this, right? And then there was some sort of ruling on the ape shares as well. What was this? AMC stock tumbles, preferred units jump after conversion settlement. AMC Entertainment shares slid 35% pre-market on fears that the approval of a revised stockholder settlement will allow the company, that's a misprint, to issue more shares to raise capital, a move that will dilute the worth of each common share. Yeah. So it looks like they're somehow able to raise more capital through a share raise, which means that they would increase the number of shares, which would dilute the shares. But in my view, buying call options on AMC as a lotto, not as an investment, not as a main trade, I would still keep the trade small. Probably like a month or two out, I think would be potentially lucrative. Let me look at actually what is the IV of AMC. Let us take a look at the IV of AMC at the moment. Because actually that might be a bit early, depending on the IV here. And the IV might not be adjusted. Let's see. So the IV for AMC is 40 in the 42nd percentile. So not crazy, actually. Not crazy. If I did buy calls on AMC, I mean, they are pretty cheap, and you could buy near the money calls for like 50 cents expiring September 15th. I might look into this later. I definitely might look into this later, especially since we got, see, here's what I'm talking about. These calls all tanked 70% plus, right? Expiring in September because of the drop today. So that might be a cheap pickup, honestly. Yeah, definitely we'll be looking at that today. That's definitely interesting. Because I think from the I lost the news article. Hold on. I do want to read more about this news article here. Because is it just the ability? If you guys know, let me know. For those of you AMC apes, let me know. But is it just because it's the ability to raise shares, or did they already raise shares? Let me read this again. Sorry. A court ruling delivered Friday is instrumental for AMC Entertainment to continue securing new financing, but you'd never guess as such from the stock market's reaction. AMC plunged 38% in pre-market trading as investors react to a late Friday court ruling that will allow the movie theater chain to convert its preferred equity units, known as APEs, to common shares. Oh, that is what it is. So they had released the ape shares, which were preferred equity units separate from the stock, and apparently the court ruling allows AMC to convert those ape shares into regular shares, which would dilute the current shares, right? So let's just say there's 1 million shares on the market now, and 1 million ape shares. Those aren't the numbers. I'm just saying arbitrarily, right? They can convert those 1 million ape shares into regular shares. So now there will be 2 million AMC shares if they do this, meaning that it will dilute the current stock price, right? But just because there's the ability to do that doesn't mean that they will do that. And this could be, a way to honestly leverage an overreaction drop, right? Again, it's not like a main trade or anything. Would just be a lotto, but I'll see. We'll definitely see this. NQ tapped London lows, says Jordan Hall. Let's look at NQ. Doot, doot, doot. And if you guys want me to live stream, there's 600 of you here. If you want me to live stream more, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you want me to live stream trade more. And then I got to say thank you to DRFPC09 donating $20 to HCF. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm going to be matching your guys' donations. So make sure that you donate. Tapped London lows. NQ. Are you sure? Oh, London lows, yes, but not Asia lows. Not Asia lows, right? So we're very close to Asia lows, Jordan. So being that we are this close, I would still not take this long. I'm gonna be. You have to wait for this, being that we're that close to it, right? Remember, boys and girls, you don't want to be the liquidity, okay? So don't prematurely try to enter off of demand zones or whatever support zones. I still don't know how the hell support demand traders make money without suffering huge drawdowns, right? I talked about this in the personal mentorship, but when you are just day trading off of supply and demand, you will have to set your stop limit so wide that you could potentially suffer major drawdowns, even if you are right in the direction, right? Apes to cease trading August 25th, says Marcel. That's very interesting. All right. Yeah, VIX is so these three things are the three things that you want to look at, right? That are not stocks on a daily basis. You want to pull up the VIX, you want to pull up the Dixie, and you want to pull up TNX. The VIX is the volatility index, the Dixie is the dollar index, TNX is the 10-year the 10-year treasury, right? And if these things are up, that usually means that the stock market is going to be down, right? If these things are down, that usually means the stock market is going to have an up day. So it's very hard for the stock market to be green if these three things on the day when these three things are up on the day as well. Check Tesla. I already did. That was the first thing I opened with. Yeah, like I said, this is the gap that we were looking for, 235. We're in that 235 gap now. Any thoughts on BMY? What type of thoughts, Dan? What is your take on Hood? What type of take? Anonymous, thank you so much for donating $50. Give me a more specific question, guys. Don't ask me thoughts or takes questions. Obviously, like you could be talking about an investment. You could be talking about its financials, its balance sheet. You could be talking about day trading. Ask a more specific question. Is QQQ a double bottom? On what time frame? Carlin, what time frame? On the daily? No. But what time frame are you talking about? All right. So here's an interesting thing. QQQ just hit the Friday lows. Um, yeah, so because NQ, actually, you know what? If I do regular trading hours on NQ, we did actually take out Friday's liquidity. It's just if we do electronic trading hours and include the the full 23-hour cycle, then we have yet to match Sunday's lows or Asia lows, right? But from a regular trading hours perspective, there could be a long setup here. But I have to be wary of this gap, actually, this RTH gap. Seeing if we fill this gap and potentially drop more. To me, there's still no trade here on the indices. And ES has the S&P 500 has a similar gap, right? NQ's actually filling it and actually just filled the RTH gap. ES is far away from filling that RTH gap. All right, let me look at some of the individual stocks and see if there's an opportunity here. Your thoughts on ZT. Carol, ask me a more specific question, please. Guys, thoughts, questions. I can give you thoughts, a million different thoughts about each of these stocks. But tell me if you're talking about from a day trade, from an investment. Like, tell me what are you thinking? From options, what are you thinking? Is Diz at a level? Pat, I went over Diz already. Rewind the tape. I went over Diz in detail. It was at the opening of this live stream. All right, let's see. Meta looks interesting because Meta has pre-market lows here, and we are now spiking above it. So quite often you see, stocks go below the pre-market low, spike above, and then tank. And then sometimes you see it go below the pre-market lows, take liquidity, and then go up for the rest of the day, right? But it's impossible to know without seeing how it reacts to these levels. So I want to see, like, why right here is this turning into a violent wick? Are we taking liquidity before heading back down? This definitely does not give me confidence yet that Meta is due for a long. Microsoft pre-market lows, we did bounce off them. We wicked below them, as you see here. And Microsoft is now barcoding up, mainly because these stocks are a major part of NQ. And like I said, NQ is filling this gap and wicking into this gap here, which is not surprising to me. Still pretty hesitant on taking an NQ long. So not planning on taking an NQ long just yet. So far the market is actually quite flat. Like, the market isn't really green or red, trading near zero at the moment. So still a wait and see moment for me. This type of action likely does gear up for a big trade. So, I think there will be a nice opportunity soon. It's just, you got to be patient. You can't just be willy-nilly entering positions. ES still has quite a ways to go to fill the RTH gap. But here is what is awesome about this, is that NQ already filled the RTH gap. So we can take a look at NQ to see how it will react. Like, if NQ has no problem filling this gap, retracing a bit, and then rallying, then it will give me confidence that this gap on ES, on S&P 500, will not be a hindrance, right? But the ES can't even get to the point to fill this gap just yet. So, I kind of do wish that we took out these Asia lows first, because that would give me more confidence in setting up a long here with a very small stop limit. So still wait and see on both of these. Although, NQ looking definitely more bullish than ES. Definitely. So we'll see how it reacts to this gap. Wait and see moment. Is Netflix a good short position if it produces a lower high under 426? You mean like a multi-day short? Like a multi-day short or a day trade? A day trade, this definitely is not something I would short. No. No. You know why I would not short this as a day trade? Because when you see this low here and the fact that we took it out, right? And took major liquidity below the low, I would be very hesitant to short anything like this, right? To me, I look for liquidity as a sign to potentially set up for a bigger trade in the other direction. So I would be hesitant to take this low. What do you think on the pop on United Steel acquisition? I don't chase Mbanza. I'm not in it, right? Like it. I understand why people get enamored by pops like this, right? Like people will see a pop like this and be like, "Oh, is there any news?" But it's like the pop already passed you by, bro. Like, why would this interest me? Am I in it? No. So what is so interesting about a pop that you missed? Like from a trading perspective, like obviously you want to know the news, right? And United Steel is being acquired by Cleveland Cliffs, I believe. I read that in the morning. But as a trader, what is interesting about this? It already happened without you. All right. Um, where do we see Asia low? Okay. If you look here at the stock market hours, right? Europe stock market hours, Asia stock market hours, you'll see that Eastern time, right? You'll see what is the Asia trading hours. Okay, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the Eastern time, right? Is the Asia trading hours. So if you look at futures, if you pull up futures, futures trade 23 hours a day. So when I say Asia low, I'm referring to the low that it took out during Asia hours, right? Remember, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Asia hours, right? So I'm looking at the low that we took out during Asia hours. And see, this is why I don't long this prematurely for whoever was asking if this is a double bottom. This is why I'm waiting for this, right? We don't want to be the liquidity. We want to see it take liquidity. So you have to be prudent in your approach. And then once you see this low potential get taken out, then there's a potential for an opportunity. But this is Asia low. So if you're still a beginner, the way to where did I put that chart? Where did I put that? Right here. Pull this up. This is the world stock market hours. You can look this up, right? And then if you don't have a trading view account, get a trading view account. And then you could pull up the futures. You will need to pay for real-time data. I believe it's $5 a month. And you can then look up the futures and see during this time zone, right? There are also indicators for this, by the way. You can look up, I don't know, stock market hours or something like that on TradingView. There are indicators that will overlay it on the chart, but to me, it's messy. And you can look up what are the stock market hours. So the two that we pay attention to are London and Asia, right? Which is essentially Tokyo. So 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time is the Asia hours. And then the London hours are 3 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Now, here's a secret. New York and London will overlap for a couple of hours. So New York opens at 9:30 a.m. and London closes at 11:30 a.m. So between 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, you have double the volume, right? Or maybe not double, but you have an exaggerated volume because London is still trading and New York is now trading. So that is typically usually a good time if there is a setup on the chart, right? That is usually a good time to see a push towards that setup, because we tend to get more volume during that time, right? So, all right. And then this is a good time to tell you that we are doing a free mastermind, absolutely free, on August 27th. Make sure that you sign up for that, because once spots go, we can only limit it. I think we can limit it to, I don't know, I want to say 500 spots or 1,000 spots. I should be better with this stuff. I'm not good with the administrative stuff, and I apologize. But I do know that the link is in the description. It's the second link in the description. It's an absolutely free mastermind. It is this right here. So what we're going to be going over is futures trading, and we're also going to be going over, what are we going to be going over? Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Like I said, I should be better with this stuff, but bear with me. So we're going to be going over, futures trading, and then also selling options, selling strategies for options. Because like I said, to me, that is the easiest way to make money, is selling options. So selling cash secure puts, selling covered calls, poor man's covered calls, etc. Vertical spreads. So we're going to be going over selling options, because that is something that I get asked about quite a lot, and is really the easiest way, in my view, literally the easiest way to make money in the stock market. If someone asked me, it's not day trading, it's by far selling options is the easiest way to make money. And then we're going to be going over futures trading, because in my view, futures trading is much easier than options trading in terms of day trading, right? Like trying to buy options. Say, for instance, you're trying to buy options here. This type of price activity for options absolutely kills options premiums, right? But on futures, you get absolute pricing. So I'm not going to talk about here so much going over each difference between options and futures trading, unless you guys ask me specific questions about it. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit that thumbs up if you guys want me to do live streaming more often on charting and trading. Hit that thumbs up, and I will do it more regularly. All right. I do have some questions here. IWM is kind of dumping. Yeah. And I do trade RTY, which is the futures of IWM. But there is no trade here. You're right. It is dumping. Dumping without a cause too, right? And no retracement. So I hate seeing these no retracement big moves, because it doesn't give us an opportunity to get in. Most of day trading is actually going to be what we're doing here, by the way. For those of you that are inexperienced, looking to get into day trading, most of day trading is this. It's not entering positions left and right. Once you find a setup, then you can enter it multiple times. But finding a setup is much, 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 much harder than you think. If you are trading A+ setups and you are not losing money on a daily basis. Obviously, we can enter, calls on Microsoft, puts on Nvidia, puts on Meta, etc. But most of day trading is going to be just waiting for an opportunity. And then once you find that opportunity, you exploit the hell out of it, right? And that's where you will gain confidence and be able to go heavier in your position eventually, is when you start taking less trades. Thoughts on Copa Holdings, Abi. Guys, no more thoughts, questions, all right? I can give you a million thoughts. Tell me in what perspective you're talking about, in what respect, what context. For a day trade, are you looking up to set up a day trade? Are you looking to invest your grandmother's money? Like, what are you looking to do? Anonymous, appreciate your donation, $55. I will match all of your donations today, I promise you. Another anonymous donation of $5 to HCF. Appreciate you. I will be matching your donations to the Maui wildfire efforts for sure. So make sure that you donate. All right. Can you answer which SMA out of 50, 100, 200 to look at on the daily? All of them, if you're looking for an investment, and just invest into your favorite blue chip stocks at each of those levels. Tesla filled the gap in bouncing. Yeah, I already sold puts on Tesla. Yo, Tesla for the bounce. Yes, we already sold puts on Tesla last week. So happy to see that. It is funny because I did hear commentary that, when we were looking at this 235 gap, I did hear commentary that everybody's waiting for this gap, so it's not going to happen, right? That's not how trading or investing works. There is no metric for everyone, right? So Hawaiian here, appreciate the charity. Thank you so much, Seth or Seeth. Thank you for tuning in, man. Hope you're safe. Marco, are you going to do a collab with Tom Nash? I don't know. Ask him. If you're on his channel, ask him. And what will we talk about? Honestly, like what kind of conversation you think me and Tom would have? What would you like me to collab with? About, I guess. Like what's interesting for you, Marco? I'm not asking that facetiously. I'm asking seriously. David Dahl, thank you so much for your $100 donation, man. Appreciate you. I'll be matching every one of your donations today. I promise you that. How would you day trade Apple? Apple looks like a very interesting setup here. I do think that if Apple can get to 160, that is a major buy. From a day trading perspective, let's see. Apple tagged below the pre-market low. Jumped above, had a nice retracement. Again, this is why futures are superior to options for day trading. Far superior to options for day trading. You could have gone long here, and I do think that you could potentially take another long from here, especially if you pull up the fib. You get the 0.5 fib right here. You could take another long here on Apple, although this doesn't necessarily give me confidence, the fact that we made lower highs. This is why I'm saying, like, it's so much harder to day trade options than it is futures because premiums get killed on moves like this, right? But if I were to take a call option, it would be from here, which you also have VWAP. And then pre-market highs on Apple. What? Apple did hit what's 179 pre-market? That's crazy. But if I was to take a long, eventually I would be targeting pre-market highs. Can you show us how you calculate P&L for complex option strategies? Oh, you deleted your question. Anas, you deleted your question. EMPH, what is the next support level? What did I do? ENPH. Sorry, I mean after the trade is closed. You deleted your question, so I didn't have a chance to read it all. So ask me again. EMPH looks pretty decent for. I mean, I'm not a stock picker. I don't like to invest in shit stocks and take a guess on them. And when I say shit stocks, I don't really mean that. I just mean stocks that are unproven. It's not my style of investing. But yeah, obviously you have major support here at around 115. If that's what you're asking. All right. No support for EMPH. It's right there, bro. There's a support. There is support. It's right there. It hit it in May 2021 and January 2022. There's a support level. I'm facing difficulties finding out the P&L after my options trade. No, you should be finding your P&L before your options trade. That way you know what to enter. Butterfly options for, I mean, I guess I'm struggling to know, like, after you close your trade and it tells you whether you won or lost and how much money you won or lost. Where's the confusion there? All right, let's take a look at ES. Great move by AMC business wise. Well, it was the court ruling, right? Wish I found FVG today. We're going to be finding many FVGs today. Curlin. Toss deals with each leg individually. You are doing it individually? No, you can open a butterfly or a vertical spread or an iron condor on toss, not individually. Toss doesn't deal with each leg individually unless you open them individually. There's your problem. You should be setting this up as one order. And then you will find out what your P&L is. Eon Badea donated 91 RON. RON, let me guess, is that Romanian currency? Thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate your donation. Thank you. How do you find the fair value of a stock? I mean, there are many ways to do this, but you can use a discounted cash flow model, for instance, right? You can just look at the financial ratios. You could look at the PE ratio, see what the price earnings is. But I mean, I'll let you in on a secret. The fair value of a stock has nothing to do with the stock price. So if you look at website, you can Google this. Use Google as your website and then pick your service, whatever, Seeking Alpha or, I don't know, Zax or Benzinga or whatever. There's a million billion services that do this. AMD grab liquidity. Let's see. Let's look at AMD. Ooh, AMD is setting up for a nice trade. Actually, this is setting up for a very nice trade here. Potentially. I do want to see. I mean, again, this is the thing that really irritates the shit out of me with options is that. So even if we took a long here, right? Whoops. So let's say you took a long here on AMD. How much are you really going to eke out of this move on a call option? You're gonna have to buy a lot. You're gonna have to buy a lot of call options to, otherwise this will make you like $22. This is why, like, on short-term moves on ES. Oh, ES looks interesting here. ES looks super interesting here. I would like to see these go the other way. The VIX, the Dixie, and the TNX. I would like to see them go the other way, but this is looking super interesting here. No trade yet, though. These types of moves are really sleepers here. Really since 8:30, we've been in this range here. However, if you zoom out a bit, this is an accumulation pattern. If we can get slight drop in these metrics here, VIX, Dixie, and TNX, this could be gearing up for a long. Plus, you have all of these imbalances here to take care of. Right? This happened during the London session when the 8:30 New York 8:30 New York and London overlap is when we got all this volume here pushing this down. So we have to address all of these imbalances, and these types of patterns here are definitely could be bullish. So waiting on a setup here. Because, you know, what you want to see, obviously, is a breakout of this mess. This is just all junk here. But you want to see a breakout. And I don't care which way the market breaks. You know, I would be wary of this. But there's potentially a very interesting big move coming. Which SP strike? What are we talking about, Florian? You got any plays on right now? I'm going through them, Alvin. I'm not going to force anything. Chris Wolf donated. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for donating 50. I'm going to be matching all of your guys' donations today. And make sure that you guys sign up for this free mastermind here, August 27th. It will be at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is I believe August 27th is a Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it will be absolutely free. We're going to be going over futures trading, option selling strategies, and then whatever questions you guys have for me. August 27th is a Sunday. So this will happen Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's absolutely free, but the spots are limited because once they're all called for or spoken for, then it's done. Do you look at Larry Williams cycles? Yeah, I love Larry Williams. Larry Williams, to me, is the greatest stock market cycle caller of all time. I love Larry Williams data. I mean, nice move on NVIDIA. I should have started that Iron Condor. I still can. But like I said, I wanted to sell the put spread here today, and then get in with the call spread later. Do you take financial analyst stock predictions? No, they're the worst. You mean the buy and sell recommendations that you see on like Seeking Alpha or Tip Ranks or something? No, hell no. What about Larry Wheels? Isn't Larry Wheels in the hospital? I don't know. If he's in the hospital, prayers up for Larry Wheels. No, not Tip Ranks. Tip Ranks, those are useless. Look at the financials and whatever and make a decision for yourself. But no, I mean, going off of these I mean, no, I definitely don't. They're always wrong. That's the thing. Will you be covering yield collecting on sold puts? Yes. Sign up to the mastermind. Ophir. Is it Ophir or Ophir? I always wondered. Do you concur with banning congressmen from trading? Of course. If you fucking get into public office, you shouldn't be infinitely richer than you were before you entered, right? Like, all of these fucks, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, how are they worth hundreds of millions of dollars on a $200,000 salary? Of course I concur with banning. I mean, that's a no-brainer. All right. Let me see if I can catch a trade here. No, not even a scalp. I think AMD might be a sympathy play for Nvidia. I think AMD goes higher today. I mean, and I think Tesla's pre-market high was 240. I think we can get to 240 on Tesla. So that's another 1.7%, which would still be red on the day. That would make sense and be very plausible. Ooh. I'm sending this out. I am sending this out. What strike would I pick? Let me see. If I go Tesla, don't chase. Don't chase what? Dana says. I'm not chasing. I'm waiting for a retracement. What am I chasing? I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Let's see. The 240 calls. Okay, so because it's Monday and these expire on Friday, they have a lot of time value left. And as I said before, and we will cover this in the mastermind, but the more time you have, right? So the earlier in the week it is, the more you can go out of the money. So people make a mistake of going so out of the money on 0 DTEs. That's a huge, huge mistake. But if you have 5 days or 4 days left to expert, essentially 5 days, because we have the whole trading day today, you can go out of the money. So if the 240 calls on Tesla are around $4, you could push at the 245 calls, which are about half that price, right? Or you take the 240 calls and buy less of them than you would the 245 calls, right? It's just math. Tesla 245 calls on watch. Everyone. So the reason is Tesla broke below its pre-market low, right? Popped above, retraced, filled an imbalance, and is now creating higher highs and higher lows. This is a bullish market structure. So if we can get into this gap here, into this imbalance, there's almost an 8.5 to 1 trade just to get back to pre-market highs. So definitely willing to take the shot. Would you buy Onan? I don't know what Onan is. What is Onan? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Saying don't chase the Nvidia play? Oh, Dana, don't worry about that, girl. I don't chase. Plus, there was no entry on Nvidia, right? Like I said, I do want to start a Iron Condor, and I will likely sell. I'm gonna send this out in the academy, but what are we? So August 18th. And it reports August 23rd. So I might do the September 1st expirations if there's enough volume. Oh my God, the premiums on Nvidia are psychotic. The premiums on Nvidia are psychotic. but I might sell, which is good for us if we're selling options. 395, 390. What? Wait, 395, 390 puts. I might sell those first. Or maybe psychological level. If I do 400, 395, I'm getting about $2 for that on a $5 white spread. And then in the coming days, I will likely sell the call spread and then exit it before earnings. So I'm going to take advantage of that theta and then exit it before earnings. All right. We are likely going to have a super trade coming up soon because ES just turned green. NQ has been green. VIX is dropping slightly. Dixie's dropping slightly. The TNX dropped about half. That's what I said. We need these to drop in order to get more upward market movement. So this is gearing up for a very sweet trade here. We addressed all of these imbalances, but guess what? We created all these imbalances on the way. So I'm not confident in a move up unless we get a huge drop in these three. I'm not confident in this move up on indices. And this could be internal liquidity taken before going back down. But I do like this Tesla setup, and I hope we get a retracement. Because I think Tesla can get back to pre-market highs at around 240. I don't have indicators. Jen says, can you show what indicators you have activated? I don't have any indicators. Look at my chart. I just have VWAP. That's it. All right, guys. Been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to go now and trade with the Academy. I'm going to send out the alerts there. Again, if you want access to the alerts, at the minimum, you want the lowest ticket available to the Academy, and you want access to the alerts in the chat. Link is in the description. We are expiring that coupon code, I believe, today. It will be the last time that you can get 50% off for 3 months. We've never done that before. We'll likely never do that again. We will maybe have discounts in the future, but 50% is crazy, and you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot by not taking advantage of that. Again, it's because we just launched on WAP. So it is a launch sale to celebrate that. WAP is a great platform. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And then sign up to the mastermind. This one is absolutely free. But I will be trading with the Academy just now. Hopefully we get an entry on Tesla. And hopefully we get to see what the conclusion of this potential liquidity grab is here on ES, because we have imbalances created on both sides now. So very curious to see what price does here. But we did break out of this junky mess. So likely, especially as we get nearer to London close, hopefully we see some big swings that will give us volatility for sure. And then I will be opening up potentially that NVIDIA Iron Condor before earnings. So Shafiq, appreciate you. Thank you so much for donating 11. In addition to the donation that you did before, and I know why you did that, bro, because you wanted to round it off to 500. So appreciate you, man. Oh, there you go. OCD kicked in, had to see donation get to 500. I will be matching your guys' donation for sure. If you guys want to see proof of that, for if you need it for any reason, follow me on Instagram. I'll be doing a story about it later. And we will continue to do this. If you give this a thumbs up on your way out, then we will continue doing daily live streams for trading, and we won't just keep trading or keep the live streams isolated to economic events like FOMC and CPI. But yeah, we'll be sending out the trades as I see them, as well as the analysts already sending out trades in the academy. So if you guys decide to join, I will see you there. Otherwise, I will catch you guys on YouTube once again. But yeah, I'm going to continue. For those of you in the academy, I'm going to continue the day trading session in there. So I will see you guys there. Peace.